Hi, I'm Robin Tudor, founder of Empower Total Health, and the topic of this week's weekly update is why vegans' health matters. Now, as a health practitioner, I see two broad categories of people: those who adopted a vegan diet for ethical reasons and come to see me to make sure they're doing it right, and those who are already eating or would do well to adopt a plant based diet for health reasons. Now, full disclosure, personally, I have a foot in both camps. I went vegetarian at the age of 15 for ethical reasons, and I subsequently went vegan as I gained awareness of the dairy and egg industries and the awful practices that they engage in. And I choose to eat a whole food plant based diet because of my terrible family history of diabetes and cardiovascular disease, and also because, quite frankly, I just feel so much better when I eat healthily. Unfortunately, many vegans seem to see concern for animals and concern for one's own health as being mutually incompatible. I once read a post in a vegan Facebook group by an ethical vegan who wrote that she, quote, hated plant based eaters, that is, people who adopted a plant based diet for its health benefits. Other posts that I've read convey the general sense that ethical considerations are the only correct motivation for choosing a plant based diet, and that anyone who has any motivations other than this one is somehow morally inferior to those who are only motivated by concern for the rights and well-being of non-human animals. I went vegan for the animals' health, not for my own, is a common refrain by those way more vegan than you kind of vegans. But here are my top 5 reasons why vegans might like to give their own health a little more consideration. Number one reason is that vegans deserve good health. Vegans have shown moral courage and leadership in going against the social norm to adopt a way of life that aims to minimize harm and suffering to non-human animals, not to mention our fragile planet, which is threatened in multiple ways by animal agriculture. Having good health enables you to enjoy life a whole lot more. One of the most common reasons why people abandon veganism is because they believe that it harms their health. Now, if you're an ethical vegan, you might be thinking, not me, I would never go back to eating animals, even if my health was suffering from it. But that's probably what a lot of the 84% of people who try out plant-based eating and then go back to eating animal products thought too, before they experience fatigue, lightheadedness, weight gain or excessive weight loss, skin problems, nutrient deficiencies, and the host of other health issues that can result from a poorly planned vegan diet. The second reason why vegans ought to pay more attention to their health is because vegans who wish to pursue activism in any of its many forms can do so far more effectively if they themselves are healthy. It's not selfish to put a priority on caring for your own health. It's simply a wise allocation of resources. If you never set aside time to prepare healthy food, exercise, and get enough sleep, sooner or later you're going to experience poor health, and that will sap your energy and reduce your physical capacity, which is going to have a knock-on effect on the amount and the kind of activism that you can engage in. Reason number 3 is that healthy vegans are far more effective advocates for the cause. A great many people are actually quite open to the idea of cutting down on their animal product consumption, or maybe cutting it out altogether, but they have some concerns that their own health might suffer if they did. There's a reason why vegan advocacy groups love to recruit vegan athletes like Rich Roll and Tia Blanco and David Carter and Scott Jurek as ambassadors for the cause. These people really cut through all the rusted on beliefs, all the arguments that a vegan diet can't support health and physical activity. After all, if Rich Roll can run ultra marathons on plants, I guess all of us regular people can probably get through our busy days on plants just fine. The fourth reason for vegans to pay more attention to health is that a lot of people who aren't vegan, but could potentially be open to it, get turned off by the holier than thou emphasis on self-sacrifice that characterizes an awful lot of vegan discourse. Whether you like it or not, the whiffum factor, what's in it for me, is the primary influencer of most people's decision making. This is frustrating to many vegans because their behavior tends to be guided by their strong moral principles. Well, in case you hadn't noticed this already, most human beings aren't like that, and there's not much you can do about it. If you want to open the average Joe or Josephine's mind to the idea of a vegan diet, tell them what's in it for them. The funny thing is, most people who adopt a plant-based diet for health reasons go on to develop ethical and environmental motivations for not eating animals too. It's like they have to be reassured that their own well-being won't be adversely affected before they can open their minds to considering the well-being of other species. My advice is don't fight this by trying to persuade them with moral arguments. Address their concerns first and let them develop moral insight in their own good time. That's how it worked for my husband, by the way. He went plant-based solely for his own health, and now he proudly wears his Vegan for Life t-shirt to the gym and has animal rights bumper stickers on the car, and he's a card-carrying animal rights activist. The fifth reason why health matters for vegans is that vegans who shame those who adopt a plant-based diet for their own health are really harming the cause. I've had several clients confide to me that they don't call themselves vegan because they've encountered so many vegans who are preachy and judgmental and who look down upon them for having even the slightest concern about their own well-being. Way to turn people off, guys. As far as I'm concerned, there are simply no bad reasons for adopting a plant-based diet. Whether you don't eat animals for health reasons or you don't eat animals because you care about their welfare, the fact is you're not eating animals. And I don't imagine that the animals in question, whose lives have been saved, care much about your motivation for not eating them. And frankly, persuading 100 people to halve their animal product intake to improve their health actually saves a lot more animals than persuading 5 people to go vegan. We need a big tent approach in which everyone who has even the slightest interest in eating fewer animals for whatever reason is welcome to come in, mingle, learn, have conversations, eat the food, and figure out their own path. Now, let me make one thing really clear here. I do not support body shaming or health shaming of vegans or anyone else for that matter. Many people had weight or health problems before they adopted a vegan diet and they haven't yet been able to resolve them. And even vegans who eat healthfully can get sick. Our food choices are not the only causes of illness after all. Vegans who struggle with their weight or have chronic health issues deserve the same compassion as anyone else in their situation, not judgment for being a bad vegan. What I am saying is that when you radiate health and vitality, other people notice, and some of them at least might be curious to know your secret. Here's a fun example for you. A kid in my primary ethics class that I teach noticed my Edgar's Mission t-shirt and he asked me if I was vegetarian. Actually, I said, I'm vegan. And this other kid looked me up and down and said, and the confusion was obvious on his face, but you look healthy. I can only imagine the stereotypes of sickly, anemic vegans that he's been presented with his whole life in his family and his social setting. And just encountering someone who defies those stereotypes opened his mind to new possibilities and got quite a conversation going in my class as well. Unfortunately, some vegans resist the idea of eating healthfully because they think it won't be enjoyable. But actually, eating a health-promoting diet really doesn't involve any sacrifice at all. Healthy plant-based food is unbelievably delicious. And after eating it for even a little while, you'll find the vegan junk food is unpleasantly oily and salty and sweet. Don't believe me? Try this simple experiment. For 10 days, eat only fruits, vegetables, whole grains and legumes, as much as you like of whatever varieties you like. Add a tablespoon of linseed or chia or hemp or walnuts to meet your need for omega-3 fats. And stay away from salt, sugar and oil and any condiments containing them while you're doing your 10-day challenge. Now, rate your health and vitality and mood and sleep quality before you start your 10-day whole food plant-based challenge, and then check in again when you finish it. Most people notice that they have significantly more energy and stamina, better digestion, a brighter mood and better concentration, and improved sleep quality by the end of just 10 days on a really healthy diet. Although bear in mind, depending on how bad your diet was before, you may have some withdrawal symptoms from highly processed food in the first few days, such as headaches and fatigue, but stick with it. The worst is usually over by about day 5 and then it's all up from there. The great thing about choosing a healthy plant-based diet as opposed to just opting for a vegan diet is that everyone wins. Your health will be better, you'll reduce your environmental footprint even more by minimizing your processed food intake, and you'll save even more animals because you'll be far more likely to inspire those around you to try out animal-free eating too. But if the thought of giving up vegan junk food makes you feel a bit panicky or you just don't know how to make whole plant foods taste good, relax, I've got you covered. My Empower Ed health and nutrition education program is absolutely packed with resources on how to implement this whole food plant-based way of eating. It includes video recordings of my full-day empowered eating seminar and my plant-powered all-free cooking workshop, Healthy Eating 101, which covers kitchen setup and meal planning and batch cooking, and 2 live webinars per month, an open Q&A session where you get to pick my brains on all your health and nutrition questions, and an in-depth exploration of an important health topic. Your first month membership is 100% free, so there's absolutely no risk to you, and you can register for that free month at the link at the end of this video or in the notes below the video. So thanks for listening. Hope you found this stimulating. Please do like the video, share it in your social networks, and I will catch up with you for next week's weekly update.